Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 13. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows as well as scripted shows. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. So we have one comment from last week, and Carrie Conversations says, right, everything Mary said this episode spot on. People want to criticize Mary when Jen is the alleged criminal. I'm glad Meredith has my girl back. I don't trust Heather, Whitney, Lisa, or Jen or Jenny. I feel Mary and Meredith are the real MVPs. I understand where you're coming from because y'all want to jump down Murray's throat about some alleged stuff. But Heather, you was saying that you was gonna ride till the wheels fall off being Jen's friend when she's been taken into federal custody and has been charged. With Mary, this is just some he say, she said stuff. Now, I know there's a lot of videos out there of Mary screaming at her conversation, all that stuff. But Mary has not, nobody is taking up legal actions that I know of against Mary. The feds have come in, gathered their information, and have charged Jen with A, B, C, and D. Now, I can understand how Whitney is upset with Mary because Whitney was basically the only person last season who gave a hoot about Mary. Jen didn't like Mary because Mary said she smelled like hospital. Lisa and Meredith, they didn't really see it for Mary. Jenny wasn't there, and I don't know what Heather was doing, but at least Whitney was going to Mary's church and, hanging out with her. So now you turn around this season because I didn't pick up a phone call because I was in the middle of carpool. You mad at me? So I can understand that. But I'm like, I just don't understand basically Heather's blind loyalty towards Jen, but was so quick. I guess it was, I can't even say it was the way that Mary was treating her because Jen treats her the same way. So, y'all, let's get into this review. Now, if my energy is not like it normally is, I'm going to tell you why. I plan to do my hair on Saturday. I have been studying YouTube videos for the past 2 weeks of how to do faux locks. Went to the beauty spot store a little bit later than what I wanted to go because I had other things to do. Got my faux locks, proceeded to try to put them in, spent 3 hours, and it just didn't work. I don't know how to cornrow, so that didn't work. I was trying to do the individual method, but I had the wrong crochet needle. I tried to do like the illusion parts with rubber bands, but for whatever reason, my rubber bands kept on popping. Spent 3 hours trying to do that and just got frustrated. This was Saturday. Sunday morning, I get up and I put my hair in mini twists. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take those faux locks back to the beauty supply store and I'm gonna get some passion twists. Cause the video I was seeing about passion twists, the girl made it seem like it was so much easier to just, she didn't even use the crochet needle. She just like looped the crochet hair through and just twisted her hair. Now my hair genuinely kind of sort of looks like this when it's twisted. So I was like, it should blend well. But the thing I didn't take into consideration is my hair does this thing to where it like to be straight, especially in the back. And there's a good chance I'm gonna take this down in the back because my hair is extra, extra fine in the back. And I know these bad boys is not gonna last long, but I did the best that I could. I'd already prepped my hair with mini twists and I just came in and crocheted the rest. I think I missed a few pieces, but hey, I am satisfied with what I have so far. I think I may take it down and braid my hair instead of twisting it, but that is not why y'all are here. Y'all are here to talk about Salt Lake City. So the ladies, they are back in Utah and they are catching up their loved ones on what went down. And I just love how Lisa is calling Whitney the pot stirrer. I'm like, ma'am, did you forget that you were the one that brought up this information about Cameron and him saying that basically Mary is taking money from the church and all the stuff that she's doing? Wasn't nobody even thinking about what goes on in Mary's church. Lisa brought it up. But she was being very like planting the seed type of situation and saying little things, but not really saying what was going on. And it wasn't until Meredith was like, if you don't have concrete information, then don't come to me with this mess. And finally, she burst out what happened. And then after you doggone got everybody to talking about what goes on in Mary's church and what they've heard and all this, that, and the third, you took your behind right to Mary's room and made it seem like Whitney out of nowhere. Y'all was talking about some of the latest of the fashions and what is the best school to send your kids to and the hot new restaurant in Utah. And then Whitney was just out of nowhere. You know what? I heard some things about Mary. No, you brought that mess up because you wanted to have some doggone it confusion and mess going on between Whitney and Mary. You still mad at Whitney for whatever reason. You've never Lisa's never really seen it for Whitney for whatever reason. I don't know why. And you've been doing little stuff along the way to show that you don't like Whitney. I've said this before. Lisa is the type of person she gonna do the long game. You done something to her, doggone it. January 1st, 2021. She is sitting there plotting, gathering information so she could embarrass you or take you down or some mess like that. You see what she did to her so-called good friend Angie? Oh, Angie, you want to be cool with somebody even though y'all just found out y'all cousins? Okay, cool. I'm gonna have the person that's catering your event not cater your event. And then I'm gonna bring that person around somebody else, your new cousin, the person I told you I didn't want you to hang around with, but I'm gonna hang around that person and I'm gonna try to make it seem like you a liar. See, I don't see it for Lisa. Heather and Jen meet up. Jen discusses like what has been going on. She says she got a call and it was Sharif's phone and she thought it was like one of the other coaches or something like that, and how she was driving down the street and like a white van pulled up and she thought she was getting kidnapped and they ended up taking her to some room off somewhere. And like, I'm sorry, but if I have been, taken from my car by federal agents and they got me in a room asking me questions, I'm going to ask for my lawyer. I'm going to have my lawyer speak for me, whether I did anything wrong or not. The fact that y'all got me here, okay, I'm going to have my lawyer come in, and my lawyer knows all the legalities of things. Think that's the word I'm using, but we're going to stick with it. My lawyer is going to speak for me and find out and get to the bottom of this. I don't care if I have done nothing. I'm still y'all the federal agencies here. Oh yes, I'm gonna have my lawyer there. She's like, I didn't need it. I didn't ask for a lawyer because I didn't do anything. I don't care if I was in. I ain't done. I haven't even stole a piece of grass off of somebody's yard. If they bring me in, the federal agents bring me in. You best believe I'm gonna be calling a lawyer. Now I do feel bad that her nephew and son had to do with the police showing up at the door, the federal agents showing up at the door, guns and all these other things. I do feel bad because they ain't got nothing to do with what Jen is alleged to have done. I'm gonna use the word alleged a lot, for reasons y'all know, YouTube and all that stuff and everything. We gonna say alleged a lot over here. Where we at? Yeah, but she's hurt. Jen is hurt that her friends are standing by her in her time of troubles, her legal troubles. I'm still confused as to why Heather is standing by Jen and says she gonna stand behind her about what's going on, but Mary, you don't see it for. And like I said earlier, I don't think it has. Is it because Mary took from people that she knows, that she's using the church in a certain type of way? It can't be because Mary has treated you bad in some sort of way, because Jen has treated you bad in some sort of way. I just don't understand why you're so riding for Jen, but you so all up in arms about what Mary has alleged to have done. So Mary has decided to hire an organizer to help her, and I'm like, thank goodness. And I'm glad she realizes that she's a hoarder. I'm telling you, I had an auntie who she worked for people and they would like just give her stuff. She had several storage units worth of stuff, a whole separate house full of stuff. I had another auntie who had so much stuff in her house. It did, like the house just had like a path so you can get from room to room. And I'm like, but Mary, her stuff is like, I mean, it's not my taste. So, I mean, my taste isn't other people's taste. So, I guess I shouldn't be judging. But Mary seems to pipe up because it's expensive, it's cute. But I'm like, I've seen some expensive things, and baby, it is not cute. I've seen stuff cuter at Walmart than I've seen you sticking a doggone $1,200 price tag on this, and it's fashion because it got this designer name, designer label on it. And it's like, this looks ugly. And it could be, and I'm not diagnosing anybody. Is it that, because I'm only bringing this up because Mary said that she hasn't spoken to her mother in 20 years. And it's like, is you buying all these things to make you feel better because you don't have a relationship with your mother? Is that it? Because you decided to marry Robert Jr. and according to you, your mama wanted to marry Robert Jr. I don't know. Are you buying things to make yourself feel better? I'm wondering if that's what it is. Jen tells Sharif she's innocent and she didn't do anything. And she's hurt because the people loved her and was coming around when she was helping them out financially and buying fancy gifts and throwing fancy parties, and they didn't care where the money was coming from. But now that she's alleged to have been stealing from folks, now don't nobody want to come around. I was like, I mean, that is messed up if you have been like financially supporting people and you've done this for quite a few years. And now it's like, yeah, we gonna we didn't use you all we could use you, and now we just gonna step aside because we don't want no parts of what you got going on legally. I think that's messed up. I truly do. So Whitney and her family have put up a lot of money into her business. And she is doing this $20,000 photo shoot. Now, if you ask me, this does not look anywhere close to being $20,000. We have like people in white. We have a dog. We have like white backgrounds. We are not displaying our Wild Rose products. We got like Irish Bow stuff. We got shirts and all that stuff with Irish Bow. Her old like she like rebranded her company, but I was like, maybe if we're going to do a photo shoot about our business, that we would be showing products from our business, showing what it looks like, the models holding up products, something like that, them putting on products, something. But I don't understand what the dog had to do with it. We had some flowers. We spending $20,000 on what? Is it the food? Is it like what did we spend $20,000 on? I just did not see it. Now, Jenny just doesn't believe that Lisa is sitting around plotting against each other. Now, I'm like, no, I don't think Lisa spends her whole day plotting against people, but I believe that she does plot against people. We've seen this the last few episodes, how she has brought up information and then turned around and made it seem like Whitney did this on film, mind you, and then made it seem like Whitney is the person that is in the wrong. No, like, no, we saw you doggone it stirring the pot. We saw you bringing up information for at least 2 episodes. And then after your good girlfriend Meredith was like, you know what, Mary's been nothing but good to me and my family. And if you don't have concrete evidence of what's going on, then I don't want to hear about it. And that it wasn't until then that you blurted things out. And Whitney, she trying to chime in. She may have had a little drink in her system and still upset the way that Mary has been treating her. And she was like, well, yeah, I heard this. But you somehow you seen what Lisa has been doing. How she flipped this whole situation on Whitney. But the thing is, Lisa's mad at Whitney because Whitney is exposing what she's doing. She's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. So the other night, after everybody, all this whole group was sitting here talking about Mary, you ran upstairs and was like, well, Whitney said this and Whitney said that, never saying what you were doing. You was stirring the pot and you trying to get Mary to doggone it be even more mad at me. You don't care about Mary. You just care that Mary. Oh, I see the opportunity. I don't like Whitney, and I see that Mary is kind of upset at Whitney. I could just go give this information that I somehow found, like her relationship with Cameron. And something about that just don't sit right with me. It does not at all. It's just that Whitney is not waiting and talking about what you were doing to the other groups. She's bringing it right to you. Like when you brought up your good friend, the chef restaurateur person brought up, oh my goodness, I can't believe what Angie's did to you. And she's like, oh, so this is what we're doing. This lady, she ain't even said, how is your meal or here's your meal. How are you doing this evening? It was, oh my goodness, I can't believe what Angie is doing to you. It's like you're steady doing these things and Lisa is bringing them up to you on camera, to your face. I know that's the same thing. And you don't like that. Where am I at? Whitney says that she talked to Cameron for like 3 hours. And she was like, if a tenth of what he said is true, Mary is a horrible person. I guess he went and told everything that Mary and Robert Jr. are doing. Now I don't know how it's been said that they have a finance company that's run through the church. Now I'm still confused how Mary is in charge of the church. Now I go to church, and at my church they have to vote who they want the pastor to be. The pastor we have now was there before I got there. And when the pastor before him left, they had some people coming in and fill in, and they what's it called? They interviewed different pastors, and they was like, okay, we're gonna take a vote on who we want, and they voted. I don't understand how Mary and Robert Senior are in control of the church. Can they not be voted out? Questions. So yeah, that's basically it. We're gonna take this information. We're gonna take this, but we didn't find out to Lisa, and we're gonna take this to Mary, and we're gonna see what's going on. So that was, I know I keep on messing with my hair. Every time I get words, I just gotta touch. And I know that it don't look the best. It's just that my hair, it doesn't get real, when I twist or braid, or I should have been braiding it, but the twist, they kind of loosened up on me. So it don't look the best. Hopefully it's coming out better than what it's looking. So yeah, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on. So when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it and share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T saying, have a good one.